Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Headlines with Honor. Today's Friday, January 23rd, and we are off to Italia, my friends. In Italy, soccer club Lazio has fired their falconer for posting photos of his penis implant. That was the actual headline. I had a lot of thoughts when I read this. First of all, so what, right? Maybe he doesn't have a penis. I didn't know what they meant by penis implant, honestly. Because if he didn't have a penis and then he got a penis implant and then you fired him, well, that's discrimination. Or was it an enlargement? In which case, that's up to him as well. But I Googled it. A penis implant means that you are suffering from erectile dysfunction and you just want it to be a little easier to get things going. Now, Mr. Juan Bernabe, the Spanish falconer for the team, he is called that because this headline was so weird, right? The falconer was fired for a penis implant. He's the guy who actually handles their eagle. This team's mascot is an eagle. And what he did was he shared images of this procedure on all of his social media accounts. According to the article, after the surgery for the penile implant was complete, which he said was for medical reasons. He later gave an interview on a controversial radio show about his reasons. He talked about feeling very proud and more masculine after being part of the Lazio family. So you got a penile implant because you felt more masculine? The club issued an official statement where they said, "We cannot be associated with a person who made the continuation of the relationship unacceptable." I kind of don't blame him. Here's what I thought was weird, though. This is not Mr. Bernabe's first tussle with discipline. Back in 2021, he concluded a match with a fascist salute, chanting "Duce, Duce, Duce," a chant that was reserved and common for Benito Mussolini. And on the same radio show appearance where he talked about his penile implant, freely, if I may add, he told them that he admires Mussolini so much. What I find odd is that he didn't get fired for the fascist salute, but did get fired for the penis implant. Kind of makes you wonder about just how commonplace fascist salutes might be. Moving on to our second headline, a payment software giant, Stripe, informed some 300 employees that they were being laid off in an email that ostensibly said you're being laid off. But this email included an attachment. And that attachment, my friends, was labeled US non-CA duck. And when you clicked on that attachment after you found out that you were being fired, you saw this. This is about as random as it gets. What's going on here? It's not Donald Duck. It's not a duck in a compromising sexual position. Why? Is this some guy's like, hey, some guy in HR was like, yo, I'm gonna sneak a picture of my 3-year-old's duck drawing into tomorrow's layoff email. Watch me do it. You bet I won't do it. Well, he did it. The chief people officer of Stripe, Rob McIntosh, issued a statement. Well, actually, he sent an email right away to the people who just found out they were being fired with the attachment of the duck. And he said, "Sorry for the error and any confusion that it caused. You're still fired." Now, while all this is very sensational, shocking, and true, the thing I keep getting stuck on is why in today's world would we inform real-life, living, breathing human beings that they are being fired in an email? We're going to conclude today's stories with a report out of Colorado, where wildlife officials rescue elk entangled in rope on ice climbing route. The story very much follows the headline. An elk was stuck and they rescued it. And it's plenty heartwarming. The only thing is there were two things I kind of took issue with. The first is that they sort of brag in the article about how these wildlife officials covered part of the elk's head with a ski mask to protect its face during rescue. Fine. The only problem is they included a photo of this, and this is what it is. And this is a ski mask. This is like a beanie that a burglar wore in the 1920s that I really wanted my parents to buy me when I was in kindergarten, and they wouldn't, and I digress. So they didn't even have the decency to match the eye holes up, guys. And then the second thing is that I may have omitted something in telling you about this story, which is that it included a colon. And on the left side of that colon, elk on a shelf! Elk on a shelf? That's egregious. I mean, where do I start here? It's not funny. It's not a good pun. And I guess most importantly, this article came out on January 7th. It's not Christmas anymore. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's report. I hope you all have an excellent weekend. And I will see you next Friday.